Do you ever think that your parents are crazy? Well, I find the best stories from around the internet to prove that otherwise. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But with that, entitled mom confronts me for have the audacity to buy our house when her son wanted it. Okay, so I'm not going insane. That is how it's read. Who's this from? The Bears? Easy. I'll link you in the description. Let's have it. Brief backstory. In March, I, 25-year-old female, and my partner, 27-year-old male, bought a house. Big deal for us, and we were so glad we managed to pull this off, especially right before the pandemic got bad. It's a livable fixer-upper, and the lady that lived here bought it in like 67 and was the only owner before us. And she made no updates in that time. It kept us busy, and it worked out really well with being home so often. Now to the event with EM, entitled Mom. In May, my big project was pulling out some nasty bushes that'd take over a huge chunk of the front side yard. It was hot, I was sweaty, I'm digging out roots and throwing branches. As I'm right up to making a pretty drastic change to the yard, people notice. Most neighbors stop by, say a quick hello from the car, and drive by. But not Entitled Mom. Entitled Mom pulls up with a shiny black Suburban from the opposite side of the road. It's always a Suburban. It's always Suburban. If you see this haircut and this car, run fast. EM pulls up in a shiny black Suburban from the opposite side of the road, parks the wrong way, and rolls down her window. As I say, she's in her 50s or 60s. Gray, white bob haircut. Yep, there it is. Called it. Thank you. I know my Karens. I stand up and pause my music. The following conversation isn't exact, but pretty close as the conversation was just so entitled. Okay, got it. When I say mom, I mean entitled mom.
I'm not sitting on her car and waiting on it.
Mom, hey, did you buy this house? Yeah, I just moved in last month. Did you know the family that sold it? Not really. We just got lucky and chose us, I guess. Trying to be nice, but kind of off-put, she's asked none of the typical neighbor questions. We made a great offer. Yeah, my son really wanted this house. He grew up in the neighborhood, you know? Oh, darn. Yeah, houses move real fast nowadays. He spent his whole life in this area. He really deserved to stay in the neighborhood, you know? Yeah, that's too bad. How much do you offer? Me not about to tell her details. Over asking price. We were proactive. Well, my son really wanted that house. Where is this going? I think I know where it's going, but I'm intrigued. Yeah, well, I'm sure that there's more houses that will go up for sale around here. Well, that just doesn't help him now, does it? He is his heart set on that house. I just exaggeratedly shrug and decide to resume to my root cutting and try to give her the message. You're probably flipping it. He would have loved it. No, we're not. We're staying long term. Yeah, right. She doesn't leave. I'm wondering if I should go inside or something. She just keeps looking at me and expecting me to say something. I keep cutting at her root. Is it just you, or did your family help you get it? Me getting pretty short in tone. As you should. My partner and I brought it together. My grandkids would have loved this yard. Who gives a shit, bitch? You didn't get the house. Fucking leave. My grandkids would have loved the yard. A loved yard makes a house a home, you know? Oh, bitch, I can feel the live, laugh, love poster she's gonna hang up everywhere if she got this house. Well, my dogs will love it, especially once I'm done. Seriously? I just scoff, pull the road out and throw it in a pile. I feel her eyes watching me. Me, really ready to be done. Well, have a good day. Then, with a last glare and she speeds off, leaving quite annoyed and bewildered in my dirty glory, mulling over what the heck just happened. Did this freaking lady try to guilt trip me because we bought a house her son wanted? Indeed, apparently. Definitely the most unwelcoming interaction. Here's a pet tax pick. Yes, give me dog. Yes! Doggos! What I want to know is what did she think the outcome of the situation was gonna be? It's like, hey, I just bought this house with my partner. I'm doing up the yard so we can live in it long term. Lady pulls up. Hey, my son wanted this house. Oh, I do apologize. Let me just scoop up the 400 grand or whatever this house was so your son could have it. How delusional and how in your head do you have to be to believe that that's a potential outcome? Also, I feel so sorry for that son, because that son is going to be ruined. I bet that son looks like Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka. The kid just gets whatever he wants. Chocolate, I need more chocolate. I want this house. Mommy, get me the house. Go in your shiny Suburban and tell these people, fuck off. There have been so many people asking me to bring this series back, and I see why, because it makes us feel like we're maybe not so insane after all. Fuck me backwards. My mother threw my sister a party for my 8th birthday. Oh no. This is gonna be a good one. This happened in 1998, when I'm pretty sure the majority of the people watching this video wasn't even born yet. This happened in 1998 when I was 8 years old and my sister was 5. From a very early age, I knew that my younger sister was the golden child and could do no wrong in our mother's eyes. Mother Dearest was abusive towards me for most of my childhood until I was 14, and her physical and mental abuse turned towards my sister as well. My parents had separated before my sister was born. They didn't mesh well together, but tolerated each other for the sake of the kids. Part of the reason that my sister was my mom's favorite child was her love for horse riding, which I was never interested in. For me, weirdly relatable, I come from a farming background, but I was the only one that didn't really care too much about farming, so my brother was always kind of the favorite in my relatives' eyes. They never said it, but you know, because he farmed, he helped around their farm, volunteered, and I was that weird nerdy kid that you never saw until holidays came around. So I get it. The more hostile our mother got towards me, the less interested I got in anything she was interested in. And then came my 8th birthday. Here we go. I was friends with our next door neighbor's kids and a few kids from school. Although I didn't have that many, I loved the friends I did have and was excited to share my birthday with them. Of course. My birthday was on a Friday, but my mom told me she'd arrange my birthday party for the Saturday, which is fine by me. The day of my birthday party came and I got excited. At that age, I hadn't yet had my heart crushed by my mother for her blatant favoritism and abuse, but that was the year I began to hate my birthday. Never a good start to a story. Let's go. The party was arranged to start at 12 p.m., so I wore my favorite dress and I sat outside and waited for my friends to arrive. This was the point I realized that something wasn't right. Outside was the mother of one of my sister's friends with a Shetland pony in tow. My mother knew I wasn't interested in horses, and even if I was, this horse was too small for an 8-year-old. As more guests started to arrive, my heart broke more and more. Oh, these are my sister's friends, not mine. And for the icing on a cake, out came my 5-year-old sister in a Cinderella costume. None of these people were for me. This is supposed to be my party, but instead it became a party for my sister. None of my friends were there. Oh my God. I said about the favoritism with the whole farming stuff, nothing in comparison to this. Holy parenting. Here we go. All the birthday presents were addressed to me, but there are things I didn't want. My Little Pony toys and the other horse-related gifts were what I got from my mother and the people at the party. So that means the people at the party were also in on this. The other parents that were there were like, we know it's the other sister's birthday, but fuck that bitch. We're gonna go with the cool daughter who likes horses like us. So we're gonna write the presents out to the little embarrassment and get to the big prize in the room. The Shetland pony. That is so fucked. Oh no. The only other present I got that wasn't horse related was from our dad. He came later in the day to wish me a happy birthday, and by that point, the other guests and the pony were gone. I can remember him asking me what was wrong, as I wouldn't come out of my room or talk to anyone. My mother acted dumb and said that she didn't know why I was upset. It wasn't until many years later that my dad found out what happened. After that day, I didn't want a birthday party ever again. Even now at 30, I didn't make a big deal out of my birthday. I still celebrate it, but I don't do birthday parties. My sister has changed a lot since then, and I don't hold any grudges for the things my brother did. We don't speak to our mother anymore, and our father died in 2009 when I was 19. It's tough sometimes for me, but my sister and I are really close, so we have each other to lean on for support. I'd be lost if it weren't for her. That's so bad. Blatant favoritism is the worst thing you could do as a parent. Well, there's a lot worse that you could do, but for the sake of this, it's pretty bad. Favoritism is bad enough as it is. And then having the audacity to say, I don't give a shit about this one. Let's just throw a party. Let's just use her birthday as an excuse to throw her a party so we can bring the horse around. Tell it. I could go off. I'm gonna stop. You get the idea. Fred's red. I'm so sorry. Upvote. Entitled mother wants me banned from football because her daughter broke my ankle. So, all right, you know, I'm not gonna explain it. It's just get into it. This happened when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I played for my local girls football soccer team, and I was the goalie. Yes, up a goalies, let's go. Number 1 for life. We played in a field not far from my house for home games. We went up against another local team in the county tournament. This team had a girl on it who I will call N. N's mother. You couldn't have picked any other letter, but we will call her N. Okay. N's mother, entitled Mother, was a known problem. She'd scream if her daughter was so much as touched and had been known to be threatening to both parents and players. N was lovely, and we actually knew each other from school. There was a sort of friendly rivalry between us. About halfway through the first half, N came at goal, and we both ended up going for the ball at the same time. Her foot connected hard with my ankle, and I immediately knew it was broken. N had apparently heard the break and helped me off the ground yelling for help. When I looked down, my foot was in a very strange angle. I've seen it on rugby pitches. That's one of the worst things you could see. Both coaches helped me off the pitch. N beside me holding my hand, both of us crying. See, N sounds great. I apologize for talking shit about N earlier. Other players were gathering around, but the coaches told them to step back and give me some space. My parents appeared and sat with me while my team's coaches called for an ambulance. At this point, entitled Mother appears. I hear her before I see her. EM, what's going on, N? Get back on the field. N, Mom, I broke Zai's ankle. I want to stay with her. I'll be red carded anyway. For those who don't know, usually if there's a foul, you'll get a yellow card and 2 yellow cards. You get red carded and sent off. However, if a foul is particularly bad or cause serious injury, you'll get red carded straight away. Yes. By the way, football, this is soccer. If you haven't picked up on that already, Americans, I'm watching you. Red carded, why? Because she didn't get out of the way in time? Ooh, she sounds like a treat. Zai's mom, no, because it happened. I don't think N meant for it to happen, but it still did. Well, I think your daughter did this on purpose to make N look bad. I bet she's faking it. Scroll back to where it said her ankle was facing the wrong direction. Nice. Me, still crying and in too much pain for patience. If you think I can make my ankle bend like that myself, then you're stupid. Exactly. How dare you, turns to coach. I want the police here too, for defamation of my daughter's character. Fuck off with this. At this point, the referee comes over to check how I am and let N know that, as she thought, she gets red carded. N doesn't seem to care, but EM explodes. You can't red card my daughter. Red card that little bitch. In fact, ban her from the game. She's putting it on purpose. Look, at this point, she kicks my ankle with her foot. Nah, she didn't. No, she didn't. What? It's not hard, but it's still agony because the break, yeah! I screamed and my mom jumped up to take EM on. Yes! The other team's coach had to get between us and stop the fight. An ambulance shows up during this, and the paramedics come to help me. They managed to get both N and me laughing and help me to secure my ankle as to not cause more injury. My dad told him about what Ian had done, and one of the paramedics shook her head and said, "You can't help stupid, I guess." Legend! The police also showed up. Wait, she actually called the police? Nah. The police actually showed up while I was being sorted out. I didn't see this part, but I was told by the other players later. EM started yelling at my mom and said I should be arrested for defamation. However, after being told by several witnesses what happened, EM was arrested for assault! Oh, the turntables! I was taken to hospital in the ambulance, my mom riding with me, and dad driving the family car. It turned out that I had a break in 2 places in my ankle, hopefully not an extra break because of that old bitch. I had a strong suspicion that one of the breaks was from the result of EM's kicks, though it can't be proven. You beat me to it. I had to wear a cast for 6 weeks and I missed a week of school. N and the other members of both teams came to visit me at home in the following days. EM was cautioned and released, but was issued with a lifetime touchline ban by the team's coaches. She apparently tried to show up at a couple of games, but the other parents made her leave again. Thankfully, N is still lovely, and we remain friends to this day, and they all live happily ever after EM got shotgunned in the face by local police. How do you be so up yourself as a person to see someone's ankle pointing the wrong way and then have the audacity to go, this is a defamation lawsuit? There are stories like this that I absolutely hate, but for us single people out there, it makes us feel a little better about maybe we won't die alone. Because if she can get someone to impregnate her, maybe we all can. There's weird phrasing on that, but we're gonna go with it. The thing of it is, it's not just like she said, "Oh, you're defaming my daughter." She actually called the police. Huh? And the best thing about this is because I went to Entitled Parents and I've done top this year, you know that the next story is also about to be a banger. We're having a 6th kid we can't afford, so we expect you to give us your college fund. What could go wrong? Oh no. We're gonna finish this story, because this is... oof. I am 19, female, and I'm my parents' second child. I have 3 brothers, 21, 13, and 7, and a sister, 16. We grew up poor, and our parents were often dependent on financial help from relatives, friends, etc. for raising us. This is because even though my dad has a mediocre job and my mom doesn't work, they just kept on popping out one kid after another. My parents are very religious and believe that children are a gift from God. Personally, I think it's total BS. My parents' reproductive choices wouldn't bother me if it hadn't caused mine and my siblings' lives to turn to shit. While growing up, we never had any new clothes or toys. We just had to accept handouts from family members who were better off. If you're already getting handouts for like 4 or 5 kids and you pop out another one, don't be selfish. Fuck you. Actually, no, stop. Fuck you. Wait. We never went out or did anything for fun because you couldn't afford it. To top it all off as well, we weren't aware that the rest of our family looked down on us for constantly asking for handouts. Oof, this is a pickle. Now, my older brother and I have managed to get into good colleges and are looking forward to a future that will be better than our parents' lives. He and I were staying at our parents' place for a while due to the COVID-19 lockdown. One morning, my parents call all 5 of us into the living room. Mom says, "We have great news." I know where this is going. The smile that was forming on my face died a quick death when she said, "We're pregnant." I lost my temper and asked them how they could be so stupid and irresponsible. God, son, give him a bit. Do they not have enough financial troubles already that they have to bring another mouth to feed? My older brother tried to calm me down, but I was livid. After a lifetime of scarcity and my parents' stupidity, they still hadn't learned their lesson. I asked them how they planned to provide for the kid. My dad told me I would have to give up the money our great uncle had left for me. He had left all 5 of us some money which we could only access when we turned 18. I said, "Hell no!" That money would help us pay for college expenses. He called me selfish for not being there for family. Yikes! If I told them they couldn't provide for the kid, they should get an abortion. Wow! Spicy, spicy. My mom started crying and called me a heartless monster. Are you though? Dad told me he was disgusted with me. I told him there was no way I was gonna pay for their stupidity, and the only thing I'd be willing to pay for is a termination. Spicy family. What I was really worried about was my siblings' lives getting even worse. My older brother and I have escaped our parents' clutches, but for the others, especially my younger sister, who will be expected to help take care of the baby. No teenager deserves to have their adolescence ruined by diapers and a screaming baby. I know what it's like. I had to go through that. It was expected of me to be an unpaid nanny to my younger brothers and sisters. My older brother could go out with his friends and have fun, but I had to stay home and help give baths and feed the toddlers. I decided to get some family members involved so they could talk some sense into my parents. I called my mom's maternal cousin. She's one of my favorite people. When I told her that mom and dad were having another kid, she reacted with, "What? Again?" Shouldn't be laughing, this is cruel. I told her everything and how they expected me to hand over my inheritance. She said that she was gonna speak to my parents and told me not to sign it over anything. I promised her I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't. Big brain, big smart. Well, actually not even big smart, just common sense. I also called 2 of my first cousins, one of whom is an accountant, so she could explain to my parents how much of a financial liability this baby is going to be and try and convince them to either abort or give it up for adoption. I moved out of my parents' home a few days ago. I was only gonna stay there until the lockdown was relaxed, but I just can't bear to listen to my mom's nagging about, oh, this baby's a blessing and that I wanted to kill it. I moved into my friend's basement for a minimal rent. I'm glad she got out. I'm glad she got out. My mom's cousin paid a visit a week ago and tried to tell them they weren't doing the child any favors by bringing it into a life of poverty. My mom was very rude to my aunt and told her that a woman who chose to remain barren will never understand a mother's love. My aunt never wanted kids nor had any, one of the reasons why she's my fave. My dad told her to get out. Aunt told me there's nothing she could do. She did try. I didn't blame her. My cousin tried to explain the economic impact this kid would have, and my mom cried about how everyone is trying to take away her baby. The intervention didn't do shit. Now I've decided to cut contact with my parents. I just can't watch my family slide further and further into a hellhole. I'll be maintaining contact with my sister just to make sure the parents can't brainwash her. My older brother was gonna stay in touch with all of them, which is a good thing that he can act as a link between me and the other siblings if my parents ever forbid them from talking to me. Otherwise, I'm done with these people. And now we have an update. This is from a month later. Yesterday afternoon, I got a call from my older brother. He told me that my mom had miscarried. This is hardly surprising as she's in her 40s. I felt a huge wave of relief washing over me. My siblings' life would not be worsened by my parents' insistence on having another mouth to feed on an already tight budget. My sister would not be asked to give up her inheritance so they could have money for their new baby. I'm actually smiling now. My mother told me the mom had been crying, and while I did feel bad for her, I'm still glad to hear about the miscarriage. I feel like we all dodged a huge bullet. Bro asked me to move back in for a while to help comfort my mom, but I told him I wasn't going to move in because 1, my college would reopen in a few days, and 2, I'm done with all the family drama. However, I did agree to come visit my mom, if only out of courtesy. In the evening, I went over to my parents' place. I took chocolate chip muffins for my mom, which I know she liked. My sister greeted me at the door and told me mom had been in bed all day. After greeting my dad, I went into the bedroom. Mom was sitting up in her bed. I told her I was sorry about what happened and placed the muffins on her bedside table. She looked at me angrily and threw the muffins at me. She screamed at me and said that she had lost her baby because of me. She said I had caused her stress and it was what caused her to miscarry. She said I was probably glad her baby was dead, which is true, but of course I didn't want to point that out. She called me a witch and said I had wished this upon her. She was screaming so loudly, all my siblings and dad came rushing into the bedroom. She yelled at me to get out. I did. I hugged my older brother and sister. Before I left, my dad told me my mom was right, that my cruelty caused her to miscarry. I told him that was a grossly unfair accusation and reminded him that at my mom's age, it was quite common to miscarry. Then I walked out. I'm so done with my parents and their stupidity. I can only hope they won't try for another kid. I thought we were about to end that on a high note. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know down below which one was your favorite and if you want to see more of these, because I know a lot of you guys have been messaging me asking me when the reading tales will be back. D Cholic 19, thank you for this story. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!